Alrighty, I am packing up my truck, but you know me, I made my coffee. I made my little pancake cup so I could like feel normal, and I still haven't taken out the fridge, and I pointed to the wrong thing. The microwave, the fridge. I've got stuff everywhere. It is a virtual clown car of stuff, but nope, that's not emptied yet. Ugh. But this is empty. This is empty. This is empty. This is empty. All the stuff that was up there is gone, and now there's all that open space. It's moving day, guys. And I wish I was moving a little bit faster. I wish I had already gotten more stuff loaded into my car yesterday, because now it's raining. But it's like this rainy morning. I have my curtains pulled. I have NPR playing on the stereo, which I love. I love NPR every morning, but Saturday mornings it has a different kind of vibe, and I love it. Except I missed one of my favorite shows, which is Under the Influence. It's every morning at 6:30, every Saturday at 6:30, and it's a show about advertising, and it's so interesting. I love it. But anyway, it's moving day, and I'm slowly but surely just chipping away. I think I'm gonna have to make 2 trips, and that means going from Indiana into Chicago and back a couple of times, which is really annoying and never great on Saturdays. But good thing I like driving and listening to stuff while I drive. It's kind of what I do. Good morning from my hotel room in Minnesota. If you saw my makeshift tripod situation, you would probably laugh. As you can probably hear in my voice, I'm not feeling well. And it's funny because I don't get sick often at all. But the last time I was sick, I was really sick actually. I'm doing my skincare routine, so please enjoy. If you care about that kind of stuff, can't live without it. The last time I got really sick is when I was doing training at Schneider in Gary, Indiana, and that yard there is like the Dust Bowl. It's insanely dusty, and because it's Gary, inevitably that dust is extremely polluted. So it was like really rainy, like super rainy one day. So we were out there like all day. The way that they did it was, I mean, it's a training job, so they really put you through the paces, and they make you do pre-trips and coupling and uncoupling over and over and over and over again, and then they make you demonstrate it multiple times before they'll approve you. At least they did me, probably because I was pretty green and I wasn't very good at things at that point. But it was brutal, and I got so sick. I got a really bad sinus infection. It was one of the worst illnesses I've had in years. And then I haven't been sick since then. And then just the other day, I started feeling it coming on. I knew what it was. I've had a lot of respiratory illnesses in my life. So actually it was the day I was driving up here. And that was a super hard day for me. I left way too late, and I wasn't counting on how long the drive was gonna be for some reason. Like I knew, but I think I was just like, not letting myself fully see it. And what will have been the last video that you saw just before this one, you'll see that I went to the lake and I saw the sunrise, and it was like beautiful. And then I did some yoga, and then I just did some stuff that I could have been getting ready to leave instead, but I was like, no, I'm gonna enjoy my Sunday morning. And I really did, and that was nice. But I just got out too late. I didn't get to my hotel until like 10:30 or 11, and I was so exhausted. And luckily training didn't start until I had to go do a drug test at 8:15 yesterday, and I was there on time. And then training started whenever I got there after that, so it was like 9 by the time I got over there. But they didn't give us any breaks. They just basically, you know, they brought in food, but we were eating while we're still doing training. They were like, no, there were bathroom breaks for like 10 or 15 minutes. 15 minutes was the longest break. But I could have really used an actual break because I'm just not feeling great and feeling kind of run down. So, but I've been doing zinc lozenges. Those always do really help. And then I'm in the habit of, when I did the videos in Gary documenting my experience there, I'm looking at it now, I had my handy dandy, whatchamacallit, can't think of words right now, I'm not awake yet, but my sinus rinse. I use a filtered neti pot every day regardless, and that definitely helps. I should have done it last night, but I didn't. I felt crappy and I was so tired when I came back, and I had to do all these stupid videos, and that's another thing, and I'm not going to keep complaining because I don't want to be doing that, but I will say, when a company makes you do videos for training on your own time, that's not cool. Like, you should be doing that while you're sitting in the training getting paid for it, but whatever, it is what it is. So I had to watch the Truckers Against Trafficking video for the umpteenth time. I think it was the third time, and I don't know, that stuff, and all kinds of other videos, some of which is I'm never gonna remember. Like, there's a video talking all about in depth on CSA points, and I'm like, I'm not gonna understand or remember how this works. I don't think that it's necessary for me to understand the point system to know how to avoid getting points on my score. Like, anyway, I'm really not feeling it today. I just slept for like 8 hours. It was a very restless kind of sleep though, like, you know, when you're sick and you don't have great sleep. And then I woke up during the night and my water bottle was almost empty, and I have like a big gallon of water, so I refilled it. And then as soon as I set it down, I set it on the water bottle on the nightstand. I went to put the cap on and I knocked it over and the whole thing spilled on the floor. I've had bad luck with water bottles lately, so that was great. So I hope this day is not as long as yesterday was. I think today they're gonna do a road test, and and I got assigned my truck, and it's really nice. And I got lucky because they were gonna give me a truck that was older. It was filthy, like it had really bad stains on the seats and it smelled awful. And I was like, please don't give me this truck. And they had already told me that, and it was like lucky because that truck was configured custom for the previous driver who had been like a 1,000,000-mile driver with the company, and you know, they reward people with nice trucks. And that truck had and I don't know if some of you are aware of this, like at a Freightliner, there's a modification that they'll do where they take out the lower storage under the bunk and they put like a table there. And I'm like, what the f do I want? What do I want with a table? Like, I don't need the table. So I was like, I don't want that because there's way less storage, and there was no upper bunk. So there was just like hardly any storage in there. I was like, yeah, that's not going to work. And my main reason became, I'm not going to be happy in a truck that smells like that. Like, no way. So they gave me a truck that is newer, nicer, and almost identical to my last truck. It's actually like a perfect blend between my last truck and the truck I had right before that, so it's all familiar, so pretty cool. Good morning, guys. I'm in a company pickup truck. Really nice ride. I really like it. It's a Dodge truck. I wouldn't mind having a truck, even though like I am a little self-conscious about the vehicles that I drive, and like I drive a Subaru and everyone thinks those are lesbian cars, and I'm not a lesbian. Not that there's really anything terrible about someone thinking that I am, but I also don't want guys to not flirt with me because I'm driving a Subaru. Or same thing with having a pickup. Like, I'd like to have a pickup because it's a real comfortable ride. It handles well in bad weather, and there's a good amount of space to tow, like to, you know, move things if you want to move furniture or something like that. You know, I like vehicles that allow for good mobility. That's why I like my Subaru, because it cuts through snow and ice like a dream because it has that lovely all-wheel drive, and it's a hatchback, so I can fit lots of stuff in it. You know. So if you see me driving my Subaru and you want to say hi and flirt with me, feel free. Just don't be creepy. There's a difference. Anyway, I'm feeling so-so. You can probably hear I'm still really congested. I'm, you know, fighting off a sinus infection. I didn't buy any sinus medicine. I kind of wanted to buy like some NyQuil so I could have a better night of sleep last night. But my symptoms weren't terrible, and I was like, do I want to do that? Because I have to take my driving test today. I just feel like the old me
was more willing to do stuff like that because I'm like, I just want to have a good night of sleep, and you know, which I know it will help with that. But then there's the other, you know, the new me, if you will, is more concerned with, I don't want to feel in any way loopy tomorrow because I took cold medicine before I went to sleep. I don't want it to tweak my sleep in a weird way that makes me feel different or off, because I have to do my road test today, so I just didn't want to chance it. My truck is nice. I think I said this already in a video, but my driver's side box won't open, and it's been really cold. You know, I'm in Minnesota, so maybe that's all it is. I've had that issue before, and I tried to get it from the inside, but I couldn't. So I was like, man, I don't know. That's a minor thing, but it's not, because you got to get in and out of that side box every day to get like my fueling gloves and my tire thumper. At this company, they want you to actually, I'm doing all reefer, that's probably part of it. They want you to check your tire pressure, like actually check it every day, which I have not been in the habit of doing. So we'll see about that. We'll see if I follow through on that. No, training is hard and frustrating, and it burns me out. And I'm sure some of you have been through it. You know, like, once you watch all these same videos over and over again, you get the same lectures. It's like, I appreciate the information. It's good information. I actually think what they talked about with fuel economy was the best part of it, because at my company I was at, they would send you a thing with your fuel mileage from the day before, your miles per gallon that you achieved every day. And they would say, if you want tips on how to improve, like, call your fleet manager or whatever. But it's like, you know, all those people in the back end are busy. Some of them are not very pleasant to talk to, so you don't really follow through. I think this was better, where they gave you a whole lecture on, like, here's some driving habits that'll improve your fuel mileage. Like, okay, why doesn't every company go do that? If you know it's going to improve your driving experience somehow, if the company's more likely to incentivize you somehow, then it's worth it. Jury's still out on whether that would even help me at this company. Because, you know, I do want my company to do well, but I want me to do well. I'm realistic about that. I'm partly recording right now because I'm stalling, because I don't want to go back and do my road test and my pre-trip. Not that I can, it's just, you know how it is, like, you get used to doing your pre-trip. I think that I'm pretty thorough every day with that, but I don't, I told him yesterday, I was like, I'm not going to remember the names of all the parts. I'm not a mechanic. I can tell when something's wrong because I look at it every day, and I'm really diligent about pre-trips. I don't see a lot of other drivers doing them, so maybe I'm an exception, but I don't care. Then one thing is, this guy told me, oh, you got to do the pump down he didn't say it like that. He says, you got to do your braking tests every day. And I'm like, I'm not going to do a pump down in a truck stop when people are sleeping. And he's like, nope, okay. I was like, no. After he argued against that, I maintained my position. I'm not going to do loud braking tests in a truck stop. Maybe I'll wait until my first stop to do them and be more rigorous. Someone's going to think that sounds terrible, but have you heard people doing pump down brake tests in a truck stop? No, you haven't, most likely, because I've been to a bunch of truck stops in the last year, and I haven't heard that ever, not once. Anyway, at least the sun's shining today. I don't feel good. I don't want to. I wish I hadn't had to take all my stuff out of the hotel today, but I did. Moved it all into my truck, and I just want to get on the road. But they had said something about having us take a load tonight, and I'm like, I hope that's not what you guys are doing, because we've been on a daytime schedule, so I don't really want to be driving at night, because we're technically on duty while we're in training, right? I mean, they don't have us actually putting ourselves on duty, but if you want to get into the nitty-gritty, then you should be on duty. I said duty. I hope you're having a good day. Thanks for helping me stall. Good morning from my driver's seat in my new truck on my first day. How y'all doing? I hope you're having a good day. I'm still feeling crappy, but I'm trying to overcome it with positivity. You hear that noisy ass reefer behind me? This is a loud one. I mean, I think they're all loud, but maybe I'm just not used to it. I don't mind it that much though. This isn't white noise, but it's one of the colors of noise, and it's a loud one, but I digress. Getting used to my truck. It doesn't have the auto shut off feature, which is nice, but I probably shouldn't be idling it too much, because I really do want to try to work on fuel economy, not just because like it's the company likes that kind of thing and I want to be patted on the head, because I kind of have that. That's kind of my nature. I want approval. Give me some cookies and tell me I'm a good girl. Someone's gonna make that weird. Don't do that. No, but I feel so weird today. It's so hard adjusting to a new job. The fuel economy thing, just because, like, to me it's just another like thing to work at as part of being a good driver, you know. It's not hard. It's kind of lazier to not care about it, I feel like, and I'm not trying to judge anybody because everybody's got a different mentality about trucking. There's all different types of people that do this and different motivations, and you know, yeah, do I want to move down the road faster and get more miles and make more money? Yeah, of course I do, but I'm in trucking for more than that, and I think a lot of you who follow me probably know that by now. I'm interested in learning and understanding things, different things about it. So on that note, this is a different truck. It's newer. It's a 2022 versus the 2020 I was driving before. It has turbo. How many miles are on this thing? I keep forgetting to look. It's actually got a little bit fewer miles, like 40,000 fewer miles on it than the one I was just driving, so about 282,000. It's got the turbo, so I'm getting used to the sound of that. It also like has more pickup, and which I know is like a car driving kind of term. But I keep like, you know, jerking when I'm, especially I was just trying to get onto this trailer and I was like, I'm not trying to do that. But and then also, you know how you guys have been like, well, why don't you just dump the airbags? And then I'm like, I don't have that in my truck. Well, guess what? I got that in this truck, and I have to use it quite a bit because this tractor has the aerodynamic flap thingies over the wheel tires. So if you don't dump the air and get low enough, it can damage them, and they're already damaged, which I'm glad because I wasn't the first person to do that. So the truck has a little bit of a stank to it, and I think that, I don't think it's like someone was smoking in it for a long time, but I'm wondering if it was being smoked around as people worked on it or whatever. It's crazy to me, one of these things, which I'm getting, as I say this, I'm getting my air freshener spray. Where is it? Yes. Frankincense and myrrh aromatherapy mist, which I got from Whole Foods. They have a bunch of different ones, and I like to use this stuff from time to time because it's not, I don't like strong air fresheners. This is really subtle, but it just makes it smell cleaner, and it's like soothing aromatherapy. But anyway, that's the hippie in me, I guess. Yeah, it just smells like cigarettes and I don't know what, but soon enough it'll smell like a lady lives in here. I was gonna say, I want to make a video soon talking about being a nicotine-free trucker, because I think that's actually like not the most common thing, and it's hard for a lot of people. And as an ex-nicotine addict myself, well, really once a nicotine addict, always, because that pathway stays in your brain forever. I have a lot of compassion for people who are addicted to it, but I also want to share my story of how I freed myself from that, because that monkey on your back, it's a waste of so many things. I digress again. Okay, so I'm heading to my first pickup. I'm going to be early, which is good. I've just been having that weird first day learning the new tablet, which is so, it's funny how the old one was shitty, but I was used to it, so it was like good shitty because it's familiar shitty. And this is like not, it's just different. I've used this before though. We're using Motive, which used to be what is it called? I'm blanking on it right now. Truck Smart, or not Truck Smart, but you know what it is. You guys probably know, some of you. I used that before when I first started driving with the little 1099 company, so I'm familiar enough with it. I haven't used the map feature. I hear it's not great. So as always, I'm using my Garmin, and Google Maps is backup. Google Maps needs to come up with a trucker version. The fact that they don't have one is mind-boggling to me. Anyway, hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will catch up with you soon. Oh, wait. I want to say one more thing. I'll show this at some point, but remember how I've been like getting all up in arms about proper coupling and making sure you check all your stuff and da-da-da? Well, these trailers, they have the different locking jaws that go like this and meet in the middle versus going all the way across, and I don't like that because it doesn't feel the same to check it, and the release arm doesn't look the same on the fifth wheel, and it's just an adjustment. So everything's an adjustment. I'm doing a lot of positive self-talk today.